Nutrition, science and everyday application. What are nutrients? Food is one of life's greatest pleasures. It offers amazing flavors, aromas, and textures. Food also provides our body with essential nutrients and non-nutrients like phytochemicals, both of which are vital to health. Here we will discuss the 6 classes of nutrients and how these nutrients can be classified. The classification of nutrients. Nutrients are chemical substances found in food that are required by the body to provide energy, give the body structure, and help regulate chemical processes. There are 6 classes of nutrients. 1. Carbohydrates. 2. Lipids. 3. Proteins. 4. Water. 5. Vitamins. 6. Minerals. Nutrients can be further classified as either macronutrients or micronutrients, and either organic or inorganic, as well as whether or not they provide energy to the body, energy yielding. We'll discuss these different ways of classifying nutrients in the following sections. Macronutrients. Nutrients that are needed in large amounts are called macronutrients. There are 3 classes of macronutrients: carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins. Water is also a macronutrient in the sense that you require a large amount of it, but unlike other macronutrients, it does not yield energy. You require a large amount of it, but unlike the other macronutrients. Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are molecules composed of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. The major food sources of carbohydrates are grains, dairy products, fruits, legumes, and starchy vegetables like potatoes. Non-starchy vegetables like carrots also contain carbohydrates, but in lesser quantities. Carbohydrates are broadly classified into 2 groups based on their chemical structure: simple carbohydrates, often called simple sugars, and complex carbohydrates, which include fiber, starch, and glycogen. Carbohydrates are a major fuel source for all cells of the body and certain cells, like cells of the central nervous system and red blood cells. They rely solely on carbohydrates for energy. Lipids. Lipids are also a family of molecules composed of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, but unlike carbohydrates, they are insoluble in water. Lipids are found predominantly in butter, oils, meats, dairy products, nuts and seeds, and in many processed foods. The 3 main types of lipids are triglycerides, phospholipids, and sterols. The main job of lipids is to provide or store energy. In addition to energy storage, lipids serve as major components of cell membranes, surround and protect organs, provide insulation to aid in temperature regulation, and regulate many other functions in the body. Proteins. Proteins are large molecules composed of chains of amino acids, which are simple subunits made of carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, and nitrogen. Food sources of proteins include meats, dairy products, seafood, and a variety of plant-based foods like beans, nuts, and seeds. The word protein comes from a Greek word meaning of primary importance, which is an apt description of these macronutrients, as they are also known as the workhorses of life. Proteins provide structure to bones, muscles, and skin, and they play a role in conducting most of the chemical reactions occurring in the body. Scientists estimate that more than 100,000 different proteins exist within the human body. Proteins can also provide energy, though this is a relatively minor function, as carbohydrates and fat are preferred energy sources. Water. There is one other nutrient that we must have in large quantities, and that is water. Water does not contain carbon, but is composed of 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen per molecule of water. More than 60% of your total body weight is water. Without it, nothing could be transported in or out of the body. Chemical reactions would not occur, organs would not be cushioned, and body temperature would fluctuate widely. On average, an adult consumes just over 2 liters of water per day from food and drink combined. Since water is so critical for life's basic processes, we can only survive a few days without it, making it one of the most vital nutrients. Micronutrients. Micronutrients are nutrients required by the body in smaller amounts, but they're still essential for carrying out bodily functions. Micronutrients include all of the essential minerals and vitamins. There are 16 essential minerals and 13 essential vitamins. In contrast to carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins, micronutrients are not a source of energy, but they assist in the process of energy metabolism as cofactors or components of enzymes, known as coenzymes. Enzymes are proteins that catalyze or accelerate chemical reactions in the body. They're involved in all aspects of body functions, including producing energy, digesting nutrients, and building macromolecules. Minerals. Minerals are inorganic substances that are classified depending on how much the body requires. Trace minerals such as molybdenum, selenium, zinc, iron, and iodine are only required in amounts of a few milligrams or less per day. Major minerals such as calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium, and phosphorus are required in amounts of hundreds of milligrams or more per day. Many minerals are critical for enzyme function, and others are used to maintain fluid balance, build bone tissue, make hormones, transmit nerve impulses, contract and relax muscles, and protect against harmful free radicals in the body. The following is a list of the many functions of minerals. A list of minerals and their major functions. Sodium is for fluid balance, nerve transmission, and muscle contraction. Chloride for fluid balance and stomach acid production. Potassium, fluid balance, nerve transmission, and muscle contraction. Calcium, bone and teeth health maintenance, nerve transmission, muscle contraction, and blood clotting. Phosphorus, bone and teeth health maintenance, acid-base balance. Magnesium, protein production, nerve transmission, and muscle contraction. Sulfur for protein production. Iron carries oxygen, assists in energy production. Zinc, protein and DNA production, wound healing, growth, immune system function. Iodine, thyroid hormone production, growth, metabolism. Selenium, an antioxidant. Copper, a coenzyme in iron metabolism.